So when Begonia started, it was talking about bees and how their colonies are collapsing, and the guy was talking about health regimens and how it's so important that we take care of ourselves. And I thought, okay, this is going to be some kind of dystopian future where, and I thought we'd get some health tips out of it because he's exercising with his somewhat special cousin. And I was like, oh, this might be interesting because Jesse Plemons, he lost a lot of weight, and I think in a healthy way, not Ozempic. And so I was looking forward to that. Thought it might be a little dry, but then it turned into this a little bit out there. He thought that aliens were taking over the planet and we need to protect ourselves. And sorry, I'm talking like this is. So his mother was part of a drug trial. I don't know what was wrong with her, but it caused her to go into a coma. And he happened to work in the shipping department of the factory that produced the drug. So he and his cousin kidnapped the CEO of the company that made the drug, and they made her go through all these horrible tests. They gave her like shocks to, I don't know, break her or test the limits, and she withstood higher shock treatments than any of the other people that he had kidnapped and thought were aliens. So then he thought, oh, she's the empress of the alien people. And oh, again, this movie is a little dark. Don't watch it if you're depressed. There is some cursing, but the only nudity is her bald head. They shave her head because they believe that her hair enables her to talk to her people out there in space. And he wanted to go with her to space, and the handicapped guy wanted to because he thought, I believe, that life on the planet was over anyway, so he wanted to go be safe, like out in space. They weren't really clear on it, but it kind of seemed like he really wholeheartedly believed everything that his cousin told him, because he's a little susceptible and he had full trust in his cousin. So back to, they have her kidnapped. She tricks him into getting the antifreeze out of her car, which they hid somewhere else. And she says that that is the cure for his mother. So that buys her some time because he has to go ride his bicycle. That's how he gets around to the car, get the antifreeze, go into the care built, where she's kept, the mother. And then he puts it into her drip bag and he says, don't worry, Mom, it's not really antifreeze, it's a cure, because he believed her. For the longest time, she's saying, I am not an alien. Then finally, she was like, okay, I have to say I'm an alien. This is the only way to get out of this situation. So he is unknowingly killing his mother, and it didn't take very long at all. I've seen crime shows. It sounds like the most horrible way to die. And then when he realizes that she's flatlining and not coming back, he jumps out the window before the nurse comes into the room, and he's running off. And then she thought that that would get him arrested. Oh my gosh, look at the sunset. It's so beautiful. So beautiful. And so, then he goes back and he's mad, and she then says, okay, I will, take you to my leader, kind of thing. And they go back into her office at work, and this is where they went through about 2 or 3 checkpoints with the guards. The guard that drove the car through, I don't blame him, but the other guards, you could clearly see that his baggy pants, he was holding like a shotgun. You could see the outline of it. And then you could tell that his jacket was unusually bulged. And so, yeah, it turned out that he strapped himself with explosives and he did have a shotgun in his leg, in his pant leg. And so she takes out a calculator and says, okay, I have to punch this code in here, and then you have to get in the closet, and that will send you back to space to talk to my leader. And and he does it, and he says, oh, by the way, I have insurance. I strapped myself with explosives because I figured that you were going to do something, you know, so you can't kill me once we get there. And then she runs as soon as he closes the door. And I thought, well, how is she going to hurt him inside a closet, or just lock him there and get away? I didn't know what she was doing. Then she, and this movie might not be new. I really didn't know. I saw ads for it. I used to love Focus feature films since Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, a very good Jim Carrey movie. If you haven't seen it, I loved everything about Eternal Sunshine. It was a million years ago, but it's very good. If you have not seen it, watch it. Then sidetracked, sorry. She is on the ambulance. He explodes because the body heat, his body heat sets off his explosives on his chest. She is in an ambulance, and she jumps out as soon as she can, and she runs back to the office, and she goes back into the closet. I'm like, what is she doing? And then it turns out she really was an alien, and she's back up with her people, and they're wearing like these large knitted outfits, and they did actually speak via their hair, which is interesting. And so then they decide to end life on Earth. That's the conclusion that they had. And the end of it, apocalyptic, right? Everybody dies right where they are. I'm gonna have this beautiful backdrop. There we go. And so, sorry about my hair today. It's kind of hilarious. And so people die. This is the bride at her wedding. These are the businessmen at their meeting. These are the rich guys out on their yacht and their model girlfriends. These are, everybody dies. These are the little homeless kids. Oh my gosh. And everybody dies just doing what they're doing. And it reminds me of like the great end is near and that kind of thing. And what are you going to be doing? They used to have this thing. What would you do if Jesus came to your house? That kind of thing. Would you want to be doing what you're doing? Would you want to be, but I know we're talking religion is not allowed. I'm getting kind of jittery. I had 1 cup of coffee so far. I need so much more. I work the night shift. So if you made it through these 8 minutes, I would say watch the movie. It's a good movie, It was good. Hopefully, I reviewed the first Wicked movie after I saw it. I told my sister all about it. She goes, well, that makes me not want to see it. So I thought, I have a career in giving movie reviews. I really, really do. Have a good night, everybody.